What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Kenny, King B, and it's been a while since I've been on. So, first of all, for those of you that end up watching this, I appreciate it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. One of the things I wanted to discuss today is so the topic was called Trump is a liar. And my hope was to get, obviously, people who believe this. I've seen it through Facebook all day today. And through Facebook, it came up all day today because of an article that came up, and it's been something that there's a lot of people out there that I think they have good intentions. They're just not very educated when it comes to politics. And since they don't study this stuff, they don't research this stuff, what they do is they come up with what they like or don't like, and then they work themselves backwards. I hate Trump, so I'm going to be excited about anything that comes up that's big news, that is bad that he did. So let me go ahead and show you something real quick. Okay. So here's an article. All right. And this article is Yahoo's. I will put it in the link in the description box below. And this says, Morning Joe, Trump lied to you and your family about the coronavirus. Now, before we get into this article, let's remember, because this is King Truth. So we're going to tell the truth to you. Now, don't forget, Joe Scarborough used to be a friend of Donald Trump's. He was actually invited to his wedding. He just is so liberal. He has decided to hate Donald Trump because of politics. Joe, who's actually on a show with another female, Scarborough is also on the TV with another female. Actually, the two of them got married, and he was at their wedding. Okay, but the problem is Joe Scarborough cares so much about politics that he's going to pretty much basically put something that is bull crap out there. And let me explain. So did Trump lie? First of all, let's go ahead and see what it says in the article. It says Scarborough was very visibly angry when he told him that President Trump chose to, first of all, it's fake. Okay. It's all conjured up anger. Okay, Joe Scarborough doesn't like Donald Trump, so he's feigning anger to try to make it seem like this is a story. He chose to lie to you and your family, it says in quotes, about the coronavirus. Now, I think this is very important, so let's pause for a second. Do you guys remember when the coronavirus first got here? Who was the one downplaying it in terms of it's nothing? You have Nancy Pelosi. You have Andrew Cuomo, you had Bill de Blasio, you had Dr. Fauci, all saying things like it's not airborne, come on down to Chinatown, this is no big thing, that Trump is trying to make it a political thing. Now, we remember that in February what Trump did was he shut down the travel. So then they're talking about what Trump said. Now, in the article, it says he intentionally downplayed the severity of the coronavirus, even as he privately acknowledged it's a threat to the health and the economy. What do you mean? That's when he shut down travel in February. So you're going to tell me that because he tells people, hey, guys, it's not going to be a big deal, that's not rhetoric, that he is literally lying to people. He's trying to convince them to think this is absolutely nothing. But then he shut down travel to another country because of this. Is that really what you're believing? Because if you're on Facebook and you're sharing this message, this tells me that you, first of all, you believe Trump is a genius. Because the only way that Trump could know about a virus that no one knew about, didn't know a lot about it, clearly, national, not just nationally, worldwide, and you think Trump knew everything from Jump Street. No, they know he didn't know everything. He uses hyperbole just like any CEO that comes into and says, hey, we're having a tough period of time. We're going to do really well. What Trump did when he did that, now you could say, okay, did he lie about it? Well, first of all, he didn't know. Okay, so let's just get that on the clue. He wants to act like he knew because that's something that a lot of people, everybody wants to be the first to know something, the first to say something. But the truth is nobody knows. Even today, right now, you out there that are sharing stuff on Facebook, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't. Most of you have no idea. And I don't even care whether you're a doctor or not, because I literally had a nurse tell me today that the numbers in Maryland are atrocious. And for shoots and giggles, I will go ahead and show you what that looks like in Maryland. Okay? In Maryland, this person says, oh, we should have everything shut down. You know, we're not meeting the numbers that we want to meet. Okay? Here are the numbers from Maryland. Here they are in their infinite glory. You ready? Boom. Make them bigger for you. Boom. Do you see this? You see this chart? Here's the 7-day average. Do you see that? You see how long it's been this low? And this is a nurse that believes this. Now, I believe that she really believes this. She doesn't know the numbers, because sometimes when you're in it, you can't see it clearly for what it is. This is just data. This is not my opinion. This is not a political move. This is just data, okay, of deaths in Maryland. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is that these people are saying that Trump is lying like he had some alternative motive, which he did. His alternative motive was to make sure that the economy didn't completely collapse. If he came out, is that really what we want? Like, come on, people, put down your hate of Donald Trump for 1 second and just think for a minute. Do you really want a president who would go, this is the worst thing ever. Everybody get in your house, lock down the doors, don't ever come out. We're all going to die. And then stick it like that for a year. Industries fall apart. No bills are paid. Electricity getting cut off. Oh, no. We're going to save those things. How's that stuff going to work? I'm going to tell you how it's going to work. And this is your introduction. Come on in to understanding politics. Okay. The reason why Democrats are trying to brainwash you this way is because they want socialism. And so if everybody stays in their house for a year, right, with only going to Walmart, which is somehow magically not disease-free, or magically not loaded with coronavirus, all of a sudden, you're not going to have any electric. So how are you going to have electric? Oh, that's right. The government will just pay for it. I can't work. That's okay. The government will give you money. I can't. Oh, bro, you're an idiot. You're saying the economy is worth more than life. Look at Faux Show. Faux Show's an idiot. Now, I could actually bring Faux Show on this show right now. I could bring him on. If he wants to come on, I'll bring him on right now, because he's a moron, okay? In the comments on YouTube, just to let you know, this clown, okay, said, bro, you're an idiot. You're saying the economy is worth more than life. That's how stupid some people are. Of course, life is more important than the economy. But let me ask this moron. Does he drive? I bet you he does. Has he ever been to a swimming pool? I bet you he has been. So there are certain things in life that you accept even though it costs more lives. It does. More people die in planes than just don't die in planes if you had planes, but we still use planes. Okay? So I'm sorry, Faux Show doesn't know common sense. I wish I could just lead him to water to help him drink water, but he would probably just try to blow his nose in it. Okay? The truth is that unfortunately people like that, right, Faux Show, are that stupid. And it's sad, because I actually feel sorry for Faux Show. Okay? Because the reality is that of course people's lives are more important. So I don't understand how he doesn't follow this, but in all actuality, when you save lives by not hunkering everybody down. I've already gone through, and we can go through it again and again, but when people shut down, a couple weeks after the shutdown, way more people died. When you gathered people into closed spaces, way more people died. I know that doesn't make sense to Faux Show, but just being clueless doesn't help this guy or girl or whatever Faux Show is. Okay. But it's just a shame, because let's get back to the article, because this guy in the comments is going to show how stupid he really is, or she really is. So it says coronavirus, Donald Trump knew that it was deadly and that it was airborne. He knew that millions of Americans would get sick and die. He knew it wasn't just older people who wanted to be killed, who would be killed by the virus. He knew early on this would be the greatest crisis America had faced in decades. Okay, first of all, he shut down travel. And FOSO certainly can't figure this out either because they don't want to. The truth is, he did shut down travel into the country specifically to save lives. So Trump didn't downplay corona because how did that kill people? Please explain to me how downplaying it killed people. Okay, he shut down travel, but he downplayed it. That doesn't sound like he downplayed it. I'm sorry, if you can't figure out that if any president, I don't care whether it's Barack Obama, George Bush, Clinton, whoever, if a president shuts down travel because of a sickness, that sickness is serious. If you can't figure that out, I don't know what to tell you. Now, what he did, which is exactly what you should do, Trump is not getting nearly enough credit for what he's done to handle this. This was handled very well. First of all, wearing a face mask, you have so this is a clown who bleeds. So I bet you didn't wear the mask and called Corona a hoax. No, I never said Corona was a hoax. Wearing a mask, Anthony Fauci said that you shouldn't wear a mask. There's actually evidence in the CDC that just came out not long ago that said there is nothing. Now, no, I'm sorry, folks. So I wish you would come on the show so that you could get embarrassed publicly. But the truth is that Trump called the virus a hoax when it came to the election. It is. It's kind of, you're proving his point right now because you're acting as though he killed people for the economy. That's a hoax. Okay. The truth is, not my Trump didn't call it a hoax. He said it's a hoax when it comes to the campaign. So it is. I'm sorry. I don't know. Yeah, because this show just got put up and it just came on. But it'll get watched. It gets on Facebook and some of our videos have 5, 7, 10,000 watches. So you can go look it up if you want. But the reality is that maybe you should put show instead of faux so. But you probably don't know how to spell it. That's H-O-W. I've watched enough of his videos. It's clear that you don't understand that the way America works is governors are the ones that control each of their states. So the governor should have controlled shutdowns. So we actually, in my opinion, we shouldn't have shut down at all. And you can actually go back and look at the stats. And there's lots of countries that are doing far worse that had more major shutdowns. So you don't know what you're talking about. And I love this. Where do you get your news from? You know where I get my news from? Right here. Okay, let me go ahead and pull it up. Let me pull it up for you. Right? This is called data. Okay, so this information comes from the CDC and each state individually, they send it in. So let me educate you some. Okay, so what happens is when people mark down the deaths in their individual states, they all have to send it to databases. The databases, you put it in and it comes up in the Worldometer. Okay, so you can look at this, right? And you can go state by state. You can go country by country. Okay, now every country is not going to have all the updated information. We are talking about USA. I understand that's confusing for you, but Maryland is in USA. You can Google that if you get confused, but it's where DC, it's in that area between DC and Delaware, DC and Pennsylvania. It's that little state in the middle there. Okay, so this is Maryland. That is in the United States. So we could talk about the United States. And actually, if you want to talk about the US, we'll go ahead and take a look at the numbers. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the numbers. Let's go ahead and go to the death rates in America. Okay, so here's our line. Okay, and if you look at the death rate per people that have died based on the cases, we're at about 2.5%. So you can say F other countries, but the truth is in America, okay, this only affected basically a handful of states on any level. Okay, if you go to total deaths, okay, let's go deaths per million. We'll go to total deaths. Here you go. So California, Texas, Florida, New York, Georgia. New York Okay, Democrat ran. Let's talk about that. Democrat ran right here. Look at their death rate compared to the others. You could add these, you could add California and Texas together, and you didn't have as many people as died in New York. We could have avoided if Trump was honest and banned traveling when he. Nobody said that he had information back in December. Sorry, I mean, you're just making that up, which is a shame because you shouldn't lie to people. You're doing exactly what you blamed Trump for doing. Trump didn't have inside info, okay, back in December. Actually, according to the World Health Organization, in January, it wasn't passed person to person. So you would have just banned travel before a single case. That doesn't even make sense. Like, that's the problem. When you talk to people who are so anti-Trump that they don't care about data, then it makes it really tough, right? So let's go. He wanted to do it before we ever had a case. Before we ever had a case in America, this clown faux show would have been, look at him running away because he knows his data is ridiculous. He knows he has no data and he's just a clown. Thanks for joining faux show. Peace out. Hit the bricks. So look, this is the sad part. I'm glad he put all these posts so that people can see this. But the truth is look how many people had the cases, right? No state cases before them. No deaths. But this guy would have had travel shut down for 3-4 months before a single death occurred. And then he thinks shutting this down would have stopped the virus. Down, and it didn't. It didn't slow the virus. Like, people have to stop lying to themselves and look at the data. Stop trying to be right more than you're trying to look at information. I'm not trying to be right. I don't care. I put my estimates out there months ago, and people can look them up. And the truth is that what I said to do when it first started was, if you really want to get a hold on it, I said quarantine old people and quarantine, I said children at the time, and anybody else that was, in a position where they would be worried about this kind of thing, like somebody with bad conditions and stuff. If they would have done that, this would have already ran through and we'd be at a better spot right now. There's no doubt in my mind. But I can't prove that. All I can prove is that at the time, we had to start being real about what Trump did do. Trump shut down stuff. So saying that he didn't, that he downplayed it, well, yes, on the side of trying to keep the economy alive, he did downplay it probably more than he thought, but he didn't know either. Like, everyone that bashes him is basically calling him a genius. They're saying he knew this when no one else knew this, and he just lied to people. No, I think he's trying to be right now. I think he's trying to be right when he was telling this person, oh, I knew it was going to be better, blah, 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 or that it was worse than people thought it was, blah. But he did. You just got to look at what the actions were. He shut down travel to China. Then he shut down travel to Europe. Okay? That is what a president should have done. The governors then have to control their states. That is how America works. I know that's hard for some people, but that is actually how America works. So if people want to understand how the country goes, that's how it goes. Okay? And so as Trump, dude, stop saying he downplayed to save the economy. Why save economy over lives? Explain. Okay. I don't know how I can break this down to you anymore. The fact that you're assuming that economy and lives are not connected is kind of stupid. And I'm sorry, but you think that this virus is just killing people, but you also have to look at suicides. You have to look at how it is to be broke. You have to look at what the poverty does to people. How many people a year does that kill? I mean, you're just kind of being ridiculous. The truth is that he didn't downplay it and cost lives. How did it cost any lives? How? I'm sorry, faux show, if you didn't understand that by closing off travel, that this was a serious disease. I don't know what to tell you. Like, you were just moving at a slower speed than everybody else. Anybody out there, if you thought this was completely nothing, a joke, it was nothing. And then they shut down travel. I don't know how to help you. They don't shut down travel because it's nothing. So that is just silly talk. So the truth is he didn't do that. Okay. What he was talking about was how quickly this thing, it isn't a benefit to Americans for him to come out and say, hey, we're going to beat this thing. We're going to beat this thing. This thing's going to dwindle away. It's going to end up being nothing. We just got to keep pushing through. We're going to beat this thing. We're going to beat this thing. That is a better thing for him to do than, man, we can't beat this. We should all go in our houses and never come outside again. I mean, that's just common sense. Like, you clearly don't own a business, but you don't want to lie to people. I don't think the president should lie to people, but the idea that you're not going to be able to be, you better be a cheerleader for the United States. So let's go back. Let's see what Morning Joe says. It says that he pivoted his anger towards staffers of the White House who he told have staying in good standing with Donald Trump over saving your life. There's no proof that this has cost one life. None. There's zero evidence to say that Trump talking good about how quickly this thing is going to go away cost a single life, not one. But it has saved jobs. Speculation is key to the stock market. It is. So I don't know where, I understand that people don't like Trump. So they already come in the door. They don't like Trump. They hate him, blah, blah, blah. They're like, oh, what do you get your news from? Fox News? Oh, you got to only listen to Fox. This guy's a liar. Okay, well, first of all politicians are liars. So let's set that to the back burner for a second and go, well, what would you have done if you were president? What would Faucheux have done? What would the other people on my Facebook, what would they have done if they were president? What would they have done? They would have made masks mandatory sooner? Really? Look at Maryland's numbers again. I want you guys to see this. Let's go ahead and look at Maryland's numbers again. Ready? We're going to look at Maryland's numbers again, and I got a question for you. Let's go to Maryland, and then I'm going to ask you a real simple question. It's not a trick question, nothing like that. We're going to add this to the stream. Here you go. This is Maryland. Ready? Here's the death rate. Okay? Here's the death rate. Tell me when we started wearing masks. When did masks become mandatory? Here, here, here. Where? Is there a big difference between right about here? Between this and this? Really? Well, why? Like, I haven't seen anything. Instead, virus is a hoax. It'll go away like magic. Well, it came essentially like magic, and eventually it will go away like magic. I mean, here you go. Look at where it was in Maryland, okay, in May 5th. And then by July 5th, it's almost gone. March, we ran out of masks. What are you talking about? In March, they said masks shouldn't even be held. They said that we wouldn't even benefit from wearing them. Did you watch any of the videos? Let me explain something to you. The masks are just such a scam. This did not happen because of the masks. Masks work in a controlled environment where you use the mask, and then when you take it off and you touch it, you throw it in the trash. That's how it works. March, nobody, like, they had masks. I know people that were there were people taking them out of the hospitals because they were nervous about it. This all happened whether people were wearing masks or not. What inspires you the most about Trump's leadership? That he said he was going to eliminate Obamacare, which the biggest part of Obamacare that was bad was the individual mandate. He did that. He said he was going to stop the wars. He brought many troops home. He said he was going to redo the deal with NAFTA. He did that. He said he was going to make NATO pay their fair shares. They did do that. He said he was going to move the embassy into Jerusalem. He did that. He said that he was going to help Mexico. He did that. He said he was going to help with immigration. He did that. He changed the process. He said he was going to help Black communities. He did that. Best unemployment rate ever for Blacks, women's, list goes on. So, he did a lot of things that he said. That's what I like most about his leadership. I don't need a president to lead me, though. So, I mean, Biden's leadership, he put a bunch of black people in jail. So what's the embassy have to do with America? Because he said he was going to do it. And so did everyone else. What about the wall? He's building the wall. The wall, I think, is 2/3 the way done. Did Mexico pay for it? Yes. Go look at how much money we're pulling in from the USMCA. Yes. Or are you paying for it? No, I'm not paying for it. We're pulling in more money from Mexico than the wall has cost. Google it. I already did a whole episode on it. You can find it at Contradictions of the Other Side on the YouTube channel. You can go look for it. I'm not dumb. Unfortunately, you are so dumb. Okay? You don't understand that it's very easy to find. Like, I don't know how to help you anymore. $65 billion the UCMA has brought in for us. So you've got to do your research. You don't want to. What about the wall? He's building it. Trump did more in 3 years than I've ever seen a president do. Ever. It's not even close. It's not. I mean, he held China accountable. Why do you think the coronavirus dropped now? Because of this. You asked what inspires me most about his leadership. The fact that he accomplishes things. Is that not clear to you? Do you not understand that? And I already said I don't need to be inspired, but I never said Donald Trump was an inspired leader. Did I? I don't think I've ever said that. You can go through all the videos on my other channels. So that's, I don't know how to explain that to you any more simply. Yes, you're paying for it. He raised your tax. No, he didn't raise my taxes. What are you talking about? Like, you just made that up. He didn't raise my taxes. Sorry, he didn't. He actually, take-home pay, he lowered the taxes. Bible study, Trump rallies, wolves bribery. Oh, my goodness. My highest level, I have a master's degree. What does that have to do with anything? There's lots of people that are just as smart, if not smarter than me, that have never gone to college. And there's a lot of people dumber than me that are doctors. So not sure what that has to do with anything. Let me get back on this. I mean, this guy's clearly lower educated. A girl is lower educated. Faucheux has no desire to actual talk and facts. He just says stuff. Yeah, he raised your taxes, but he didn't raise my taxes. You're paying for the wall. Which, first of all, I would gladly pay for the wall. How many smart people have ghosted you this year? None. How many smart people have ghosted me this year? I just started this channel. I think I have 4 videos. I'm part of a group that does the videos on another page. I've been on other people's shows. I don't know what you mean by how many people have ghosted me this year. I tell you what you won't do is you won't come on. Who would you pay to? What are you like? You got to be able to speak complete sentences, buddy. Steve Bannon. What, I'm supposed to like Steve Bannon now? I mean, that doesn't even make sense. So here was Trump's response to the Woodward things. He says, "I'm a cheerleader for this country, and I don't want to see panic." Good point, Trump. You're exactly right. Who would you pay for the border wall? Who would you pay for border wall 2? You got to learn how to speak, son. Like, you got to learn how to read, write. Like, I think education is probably the reason why Steve Bannon, like, what about Steve Bannon? Steve Bannon got ousted out of the White House. I don't even know what you're talking about. He tried to play it down because he didn't want to create panic. That's smart. Like, I know that a lot of these politicians don't want to see somebody as smart as Donald Trump in the presidency, so it bothers them. But people have got to stop lying to themselves. Like, the first question that everybody out there should ask, okay, the question that they should ask themselves is, what would I want to do as president? What do I think is right as president? And then how would you do it? And then if the president does it differently, then hold him to it. You didn't let Trump as a con artist. He's the president. He's still winning. He's going to be the president again. Steve Bannon is in jail for border wall fraud. Okay, then he should be in jail. If you commit fraud, you should be in jail. I don't know what Steve Bannon did one way or the other. I just know that they're building the wall. And that is it. More important than the wall is what he did, where now, just so since you don't know this, I'm just going to educate you. So just sit down, you reach, I'll teach. What's going to happen is as you don't allow people to claim amnesty every single time somebody gets caught sneaking into the country, we're making Mexico take care of that. So people coming through Mexico can no longer come here and claim amnesty once they're caught. They have to do that in the prior country. So Mexico is taking a larger role in stopping illegal immigration, which was genius. Trump did so well. I appreciate that. You really did the right thing there. That's why, one of the ways that you're making this better. And when you lower the amount of illegal immigrants, you increase the amount of lower mid-paying jobs for people that live in inner cities. I appreciate that. So other than Trump himself, who's your favorite? Fascism. Let me explain something. You sound like a fascist right now. Maybe you don't understand what fascism is. You should probably go dig into a book and read it, because the way that fascism works is you take away guns. Has Trump said anything about taking away guns? You take away the rights of the individuals. Has Trump done that? You don't leave stuff up to the states. Has Trump done that? So he's actually the opposite of a fascist. You should probably go study fascism. The Black Lives Matter movement, that is a fascist. I'm going to tell you how many guns I own. What are you, 12? It's none of your business how many guns I own. That's how many psychopathic fascists do you know besides yourself? That's a better question to ask yourself there, Fro Show, because it's clear that you don't understand how fascism works. Fascism shuts down speech. Fascism is controlling governments through terrorism, until the point you take over and have power. It's all about power. So Trump has actually been the opposite of that. He has delegated most of the power. So I heard Trump dated his daughter. I mean, that is your problem. You need to remove your head from Fox 5 and from whatever else you're watching. Remove your head from the butthole of, would you date your own daughter? No, nobody would date their own daughter. If you date your own daughter, you deserve to be under the prison. What are you talking about? Would I try to date someone like my daughters? Well, hopefully if I raise them the right way, I'd like to date someone like them if I raise them the right way. And I would want them to be proud of the way that they were raised. I would hope that I try to emulate being a man that is the same type of man that my daughters would want to marry one day. But no, I wouldn't date my daughters. So that's okay. I'm having fun with you trolling, man. You can troll. Doesn't hurt my feelings. Gives me something to talk about. But the main point of the article that I wanted to make sure that everybody understood is that make sure you ask yourself, what would you do? What would you do? If you're going to say that Trump did it the wrong way, make sure you have an idea of how you would have done it the right way. Okay? Make sure that you can say, hey, look, here's what I think we should have done. And then if it's going to save lives and it's a good idea, I'll say, man, that idea is better. Trump should have gone with that idea. I'm not a Trumpite. Okay? It's not that Trump does no wrong. You too, Fo Show. Take it easy, brother. But you have to have an idea of how you would do this. And so hopefully you gained something from this. I know a lot of it was reading the comments. I want y'all to have a good day. I'm out of here. Listen, make sure if you have a problem with somebody, have a way that you're going to do it. That's what I'm going to close with. Appreciate everybody that ends up watching this. Love you guys. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. Have a good one. Peace.